All right, welcome. This is the Gen2 Draft League Week 7. Look ahead, the final week of the regular season. Very exciting stuff. There's a lot of implications for where these teams will land for the seeding, for the playoffs. So I'm really excited to talk about this. And joining me is Carter and Robin today. Hello.
Hey,
Thank you so much for joining. Excited to talk about these matchups. I'm very unspoiled on these matchups in the sense that I haven't spent much time thinking about them at all. So we're gonna have a lot of my raw first impression, unfiltered thoughts. I don't know about the two of you, but maybe you have some more thoughts. But yeah, let's start with the first one. One that Robin, I'm gonna assume you maybe have thought about this because this is your matchup. You're playing against the Sinnoh Kingdras, so that's the Sunny Shore Wakes versus the Sinnoh Kingdras. What are your thoughts on
yeah.
the matchup?
Well, I don't know. It feels very thematic to bring it home right at the end. Coming back to my home region.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've built a team, so I've thought about it some amount,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't thought about it beyond like cursory. I haven't really gotten into the weeds about doing calculations or anything like that.
Right, right.
Because last week I was, turns out I was building so many other people's team as I was helping with the Kingdoms team. I took a look at your team, Watson. I built my own team, and I even took a stab at making a team for Greenlee. So I
Yeah.
just spent so much time thinking about everyone else's teams that I hadn't had much time to look ahead.
Mm. Yeah.
But I think overall this is a pretty good matchup because the stall Pokemon that the Kingdras have are, in general, less good at stalling than mine are. Their offense is less potent than mine. There's just fewer options like that are high power and explosive. Some flexibility for sure, but I I feel pretty good about this, and I'm not too scared because I think that some of my Pokemon match up pretty well. Azumarill's always going to be good generally, but I do think matches up pretty well into a lot of the team just because, hey, I can pump out, I can probably one shot Kingdra. I haven't run the numbers, and I can out
Probably.
damage Kangaskhan, even absolute tanks like Fortress probably aren't surviving more than a couple hits from Azumarill. And yeah, so, and then once we get through Kingdra and Kangaskhan, there's not much damage that the Kingdras can do to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a couple of things like that stick out to me. Everything you said, I do pretty much agree. I think Azumarill and Grumble being so good into Kingdra, which is like sort of the
Mhm.
linchpin of this team. Honestly, like Kangaskhan can do a good bit. Lugia's tanky and annoying, but like Kingdra kind of has to have a good time, and like luckily it has good matchups into most things. But this has definitely got to be a weaker matchup. I think another thing about this team is like it does like to run rain, but you run rain into Azumarill, you just end up powering it up. So
Mhm.
that can be kind of tricky. One thing that I think could be interesting, we haven't seen it yet, but Meryl is on this team for the sole reason that it can use Perish. Um, I don't know if it's
I have,
good. It's probably not, but it's a thing that you could do. So I'd like to see it. It's week 7, fuck it. Just
Maybe
play some Perish. You have
maybe
Fortress, you
Spanish
have
was Lugia.
Blissey, like you have these really bulky Pokemon that you could like pivot around. With Kangaskhan, you can get some fake out stuff. Now you can't just like lead Perish though. The thing is, you need some KOs to make Perish work as like a end game option when you don't have a trap move, which like you don't have any. You really don't. You don't have a way to trap.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
know.
you could
I don't
bring Flaffy. It'd be really funny if you run Flaffy because it has plus, and then maybe you're just praying that Ampharos is there and also has plus, and you end up boosting Ampharos more than yourself. I don't think that's
know.
actually a thing, but I don't know. I just like to see Pokemon that
Family
haven't been
drama.
seen yet. Yeah, I just like to
Yeah,
see. But yeah,
there's
I don't
just
know. Meryl could be
a
legit.
lot of things that are pretty hard for the Kingdras to really deal with. And I think more than anything, I will get to set the pace of this match because if
Hmm.
I want to play it slow, we will take it slow. I've got a lot of really good slow roll options
Hmm.
from Venusaur, the ever-present Porygon, even Noctowl, just to slow down the pace. If I want to put my foot on the gas, I have options for that. So I
Yeah,
do feel like I'm kind of in the driver's seat in this matchup.
I think Chris's best option in that regard would be to lead with like Jump Bluff and maybe tried like Sleep Powder and Porygon. I don't know if it gets taunt. Does Jump Bluff get taunt?
I think.
No, this team has a lack of taunt.
Oh wow,
Hmm.
wow!
I
Porygon's
can
free
here,
for
let me
once.
double check real quick.
Hmm.
Porygon finally
If
free.
jump bluff, that was like last week or the week before.
I will
But
say, the one thing I will
no,
say.
jump bluff does not get taunt.
Okay, okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
So then Sleep Powder is your best
Satu might
option.
get taunt.
Or you could go Zaytu Trick Room in Prison.
You
And then
could.
you have like Tailwind too. So that's maybe this is like the best Zaytu match.
It's a pretty good
Yeah, I guess
Z2
you could do
Just to
match.
that.
have both of them.
It's a pretty good Z2 match.
But it's hard.
I like Lugia. I do actually like Fortress. Like, cause yeah, Fortress isn't great into Porygon, but like you can kind of set up into it and body press it, so you sort of have to Taro with Porygon. I mean, you'll
Yeah,
recover, so you'll.
Robin has to bring Mag Cargo just because Fortress exists.
Yeah, well, you kind of feel it does sort of feel that way. I mean, body press even for Fortress though, body press into the Magcargo. Like if you get a good defensive tear on this Fortress, it could be okay. I do think Porygon is still pretty good though because Fortress special defense really isn't there. So I don't know. Like the
Yeah, I
Fortress, you gotta
mean,
lean into a bit.
there are things that you can do to cut the power. Like you can run. Makaro gets access to Will-O-Wisp, so if I'm really worried about Fortress, I
Hmm.
can always cut that damage in half and chip it down over time.
Does Burn affect Body Press even though
It
it uses
does.
the okay.
Yeah, it
Well,
does. Pretty annoying.
have it
Um,
only have your attack.
yeah, I am uncertain. It's considered a physical move, so it still is affected the same way, but
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I we can run some quick tests. You two talk for a second. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, Carter, you have any other thoughts on this matchup? Anything that sticks
Yeah, I
out?
don't know. I think the yeah, you just have to. That was just like the thing I was thinking earlier is that you have to bring Mag Cargo because of Fortress. Because you don't, I don't think you have another option for Fortress. But Azumarill matches really well into this team overall. There's not much that that Chris can do against it actually.
Hmm.
Like I'm actually struggling to think of like how you hit it for super effective again because like Chris has a water type problem, just not being able to hit water types. And then you
And
also can't use poison for the fairy. You can't use like Fortress Ironhead because it's neutral. I mean, you can, but you know.
I almost feel like
and that's
Lugia
the
has to do the
thing.
heavy lifting. Like with the
Yeah,
Thunderbolt, like it has to be Thunderbolt set up
yeah,
Lugia.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thunderbolt. Maybe you go like Hurricane or not Hurricane. Like Thunder in the rain. Like rain is
Uh,
maybe a little better for Chris than it is for Robin. It's a little risky though with the Zimmerl and the
I don't
Pidgey.
know.
yeah, I don't know if you want to set
I'm
rain
gonna
this
be.
time.
I don't think it's.
Because you help, I mean, the only downside is helping Azumarill, but you also get the upside of it helps Kingdra, it helps Lugia getting Thunder,
I
and
honestly
it
think
helps
you don't
Fortress
even
against Mount
fucking
Cargo.
bring Kingdra. I think you could, but like bench Kingdra entirely. Like it's pretty bad into almost
The
everything.
Kingdra's benching the Kingdra.
I mean, it's
Thing is, if
bad.
you bench Kingdra, that means you're bringing Blissey, Flaffy, or Marrow. Are you going for the Marrow Parish? Because otherwise, you can't afford to bench
No,
Kingdra.
I mean, okay, maybe you don't bench Kingdra, but like
Okay,
I don't
but
think you
like
bring
you
it as one of
don't
your
need it.
four. I
Yeah,
don't think it's in your
I mean that's
primary
fine.
strat.
Yeah, that's fine.
I found out two things. One, uh, because Fortress is uh, neutral to water, Azumarill Liquidation still does a fuck ton. And
Really? I mean, even with all that physical defense?
Mhm. Even at max investment into defense. Hold on, let me use a defense boosting nature. Um,
Yeah,
at
gotta have a defense boosting nature.
At max bulk fortress, uh, liquidation has the potential has a very, very, very slim chance of two shot and is a guaranteed three shot.
Okay,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
that is pretty good. Yeah.
Of
So
course, I
for
mean,
your
you want to
primary
have
tank,
defense, but yeah.
like, and that's assuming that there's no other chip on the field going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fortress is tanky, but it's just not nearly as tanky as you'd want it to be to
I mean,
survive the
in
big hits.
reality, you do run like Citrus Berry and Iron Defense, so it's not going
Sure,
to be a guaranteed three shot.
fair enough. But again, that's assuming that's just a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Mad Cargo is your best answer to Fortress, or like just any special attacker. Ampharos will do
That's
it.
what I was saying. Porygon and
It's
Ampharos
like Ampharos
are
will do
gonna
it.
be
Even Noctowl
fine.
will fucking do it.
Even Noctowl with some Calm Mind Hyper Voice.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in it was Scrambled Egg versus the Kingdras. Like, it was a throat spray. A Girafarig was basically able to just do it versus Fortress. Like, I can do the job. Well, I want to move on, and we got a few other matchups to talk about.
Cool.
Yeah, so this next one, this is one I'm very excited for because it's
Green.
yeah, my brother versus my sister. Carter, what do you think?
Yeah. I did zero prep for my match with Chris. I'm gonna do the opposite of that for this match. Um, I'm very sure that you're gonna, work hard with Greenlee to figure out a way to beat my team. I think there's gonna be a lot of Rock Slide for me to contend with here.
Oh yeah,
The Sudowoodo in Trick Room is extremely scary. Um, Ursaring has a lot of good coverage moves. Probably, yeah, that's pretty scary for like a Mantine. Um, yeah, it's kind of tough, but I do have, I think, more diversity on my team than Greenlee does. That's the one drawback of her team. It's almost all the
it's
physical,
all physical. That's the big problem
Yeah.
she has to
physical
deal
attack
with.
and physical defense.
If you've
Um,
got anyone who
so
can put up Reflect, if you can get that down early, that
I
really
can.
does make it an uphill battle for the eggs.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think once again, I'm looking at Sudowoodo. I'm thinking, like, I feel like every week it just keeps being Sudowoodo is the fucking answer. Yeah, Sudowoodo kicks some ass with both Rock Slide and Sucker Punch into, like, the Pokemon. Like, I don't know, like, Sudowoodo pretty good. I think Entei has a pretty good role here. Like, it can hit Celebi and Typhlosion. It can hit Sneasel for super effective. Heracross for super effective. Like, it's a nice game for Entei just to Sacred Fire like on stuff. The only exception really being Mantine. I think you're okay with that. And then I think Ursaring, like, also pretty good. Like, it can ignore any ghost type attacks from Typhlosion. That's not really that big of a deal. Ursaring's always okay. Maybe nothing too crazy from Ursaring here. I wouldn't be hate to see the Stantler Yanma actually because the Intimidate's pretty nasty here, and then if you get some Hypnosises down, it could be pretty funny. But I do think, yeah, I'm mostly looking at Sudowoodo and Entei to be key players for the eggs. Um, Other like way around, I think like Typhlosion is actually like pretty decent into everything except for those two that I mentioned. So I wouldn't hate to see that. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of what I want to say about it. I'm not so sure about Girafarig. I think that one's a bit rough. There's a lot of answers for it. The dark type from Sneasel, Murkrow, and even like I guess you can't really hit it with Typhlosion Ghost type moves though, so maybe there's an argument to be made for Girafarig over Executor, but yeah, you gotta watch out for some taunts to stop Trick Room, but if the Trick Room does go up, I think it could be pretty good. And I think the Trick Room is with a Mental Herb you can get it going. You might have to resort to like some fake out shenanigans instead of taunts from Murkrow, so yeah, it could be tricky to know which of those is coming. But that
Yeah,
could be
because
something.
Girafarig has inner focus, so I can't rely on Fake Out for
Yeah,
Girafarig.
and then you have you have fake out, and you could have mental herb on Girafarig. I think it's also something you could play where, like, as the series develops, you could run like Mental Herb Executor and EV Light Giraffe Rig, and then like sort of see, like then you're gambling because if Executor comes out with Mental Herb into Murkrow, then it's good. If Giraffe Rig comes out with Inner Focus into Sneasel, then it's good. So yeah, I don't know. And then you have like a couple options there, so that could be interesting. A little gamble that happens, but yeah, I don't know. Robin, you have any thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, Sneasel's really fast and hits really hard, and the Ice type does do a lot for this team, I mean,
Hmm.
for this matchup. But unfortunately, Fake Out Pressure is just not going to be super present since uh,
Yeah.
two Mons that are very commonly led both get Inner
There's
Focus.
three actually. I think doesn't Crobat also get inner
Crobat,
focus?
Entei, and
Crota,
Giraffe Rig all get it.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's pretty rough day for Fake Out users, but I think in a vacuum, the Black Death have it because each Pokemon can be pretty squarely countered by another one. You have strong grass type Sweeper and Vileplume, which matches well into the Steelix and Sudowoodo. Um, and it's weird to say, but I honestly think Typhlosion is gonna be underperforming this week because it can hit Executor really hard and it can hit Steelix pretty hard. But Steelix is not the most commonly brought Pokemon by the eggs.
Yeah.
No.
So, I mean, you can hit a
Certainly
lot
not
of
as a
things
lead.
for high amounts of neutral damage, but otherwise it's going to be either resisted or neutral. And I don't know, you'd have to do your calcs to make sure that's gonna be able to do something. But it's got a weird interaction with Entei because Entei wants to use either uh, extreme speed or sacred fire, and neither hit
Yeah.
Typhlosion for much. So if anything, because extreme speed doesn't do literally anything. So
Entei, I mean, despite the Typhlosion having kind of the edge against Entei, I think Entei's still across the board the hardest Pokemon for me to deal with here.
mhm.
Like the only Pokemon that naturally matches it is Mantine in terms of like type advantage. But I don't think Mantine has great um, matchups into anything else, so it's hard to really safely rely on it. I think you have to do some silly Celebi stuff for that probably, but I'm
All
gonna have
right.
to workshop it.
The
So
Sudowoodo
here's a
Sucker
cool
Punch is
idea.
really meaningful, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead,
yeah.
Robin.
Second.
Um, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure Crobat gets Trick.
Oh,
Uh,
brother.
uh, Crobat. So if Crobat does get Trick, oh shit, it doesn't. I was thinking like Crobat's got really fast. Does it get Switcheroo?
I think it does get switcheroo,
No,
yeah.
it doesn't.
Oh, really? Huh.
It gets neither. Unfortunate. I was thinking that you could maybe do some ring target shenanigans on the Sewing Typhlosion to get your Entei in there. Does it get Fling? No. There's no item shenanigans that Crobat can do. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed. I mean, I still
What's
think
that?
Crobat's good here. Like, actually, just running no item for the acrobatics because you'll destroy Heracross, you'll do big damage to Celebi, and then if Vileplume comes, you can handle that. If Yanma comes, you can handle that. Like, Crobat's nice. It always feels
Yeah.
good when you can bring Crobat not for just support and it can actually throw some damage down. And this is one of those matchups. So yeah,
Yeah.
Not
I
for nothing,
honestly
you
think
do
that's
also
really
win
good.
the weather battle here, just like I was saying about Jumpluff last week. Of course, that didn't happen, but still.
yeah, that's true. You just got to watch out for the tail end explosion. You bring Crobat up front. It could be a little bit dicey, but I wouldn't. I mean, if you go for some pseudo Wudo with like a trick room mode up front, I think that could be really nasty lead. It's hard for you to do much. Like we talked about all the different
Oh, you said
ways.
you meant eruption. I was sitting here thinking like, who the hell is using
Sorry,
explosion?
yeah,
What are we
eruption, not
talking?
explosion. The tail end of eruption, yeah.
Greenlee's got two Pokemon at least that can use Explosion, so
Wait, is it Sudowoodo and who else?
Steelix.
Steelix.
I'm pretty
Steelix.
sure both can
Okay.
use Explosion. Um, I want to see Shuckle because With
We always
such
want to see
powerful,
shit.
I do, I do. Do I think it's good here? No. Like it
No.
last week was the week to bring it,
We
but
tried it in practice last week and it just wasn't really working
ugh,
out. But
didn't try
yeah,
hard enough.
should have tried harder. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting one. Let's keep it moving. Get through our next matchup. This one is mine. Ho-Oh
I'll go
Horn
first.
Dogs, only the horniest, versus the Coronet Commanders.
This is going to be the hypest match I've ever seen.
Yeah, the two 5-1 teams clashing in week 7 of the regular season. This
And
is
until the
the
finals.
Monday night football matchup of the fucking
Yeah.
Gen 2 Pokemon League. It's very exciting. I do think, and I already talked to Lily about this very briefly, but I do think I have, like, overall a bit of an advantage. You wouldn't think it because Ho not good into Tyranitar, and those are sort of
The two
the
main
two
ones.
stars. But if you look at everything else, I think I'm looking pretty good. Golem with the electric type attacks, extremely good. The Coronet Commanders hate to see electric type moves, like between
Yeah.
Togetic, Skarmory, and Suicune, and even like it's neutral into Tyranitar. Not a lot of options for resisting that. So I like to see Golem there. I think with the you could get Trick Room down with Slowking pretty consistently against this team. As long as you like, if you use your Terra, a Slowking is immune to Taunt, which is the main way Coronet Commanders have been avoiding that Trick Room
Yeah.
until now.
That's
So you're not really going to be able to do your typical like Skarmory, Suicune, Tailwind stuff because the Trick Room can come out with Golem. So like Golem Slowking has been a core for me that I've been able to do a lot with, and I think it's quite good. Ho-Oh, we talked about it not matching well into Tyranitar, but with the right Terra and like a special Ho-Oh, I can throw some electric type attacks down as well. I have done that a lot in the past. And then we didn't even talk about Dawn Fan. If you bring Sandstorm Tyranitar, it kind of just benefits my team way more than yours. I think this is
Yeah.
actually I would be very I wouldn't be very surprised if it's just not Sandstream on Tyranitar. Because
Yeah.
Donphan gets Sandville, Piloswine doesn't care about the sand, Golem's going to get the special attack or special defense boost from being that rock type, and it's already a good game for Golem, so like I don't think you want to do that. The only thing that I will say Sandstream is very good versus is Smeargle. Smeargle hates that chip
Yeah.
damage. You're
Break the
just
sash.
breaking the sash for free. With the spread damage you can do, I think it's like a tough choice you have to make. I don't think it's. It seems at first glance, I think it seems cut and dry, like no sand this time. But Smeargle is a fucking monster, so like maybe you bring it anyway, because if you don't, then that means like obviously at first game I won't know, but after that then Smeargle has to come out for free, and so is that a gamble you want to run? Like, would you rather play into the special defense boost from Golem and the Sandville from Donphan, or do you want to play into a less than optimal like option against Smeargle? Like, I don't know. That's a tough choice, and I think even Blossom, who's been a star of the team, looking pretty good here as well. Not so great into Skarmory, but you can hit the Tyranitar. You can hit the Suicune. So I don't hate it. It's definitely an option as well. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the matchup. I've thought about it a bit. I've run a handful of practice matches, and without having to be too creative or really dig deep for some novel strategies, I've been able to win most of them. So I think it's on the Commanders to bring the creativity to the match. I will say I did not consider Explosion wheezing, so I might have to take a second
Yeah.
look at that. But other than that, I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I mean, you had so many thoughts. It's like every time you say something, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes me want to say this, but you just keep going and keep going.
Sorry.
I'm gonna see if I can collect everything that I was thinking as you're talking. The main thing is Tyranitar having a very difficult time finding a defensive Terra against this team, because you normally want to go Terra Electric or Flying, but both of those are kind of dangerous. Terra Electric, of course, makes you weak to the three Pokemon that can do big ground type damage, and then Terra Flying, of course. makes Golem problematic. So there's that, and then also, what else was I saying? I think Skarmory is probably the best Pokemon for the Commanders in this particular matchup, just because it is kind of hard for you to. It's sort of the same deal as against Greenlee's team. Like your only good answer is the very strong physical fire type, but you can at least go special Ho-Oh a lot more like feasibly than Greenlee could go like special Entei.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I pretty much
not sure
guarantee
what
you it's
else.
going to be special. I mean, I might change
Yeah.
my mind, but yeah.
And oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with you that Unnerve probably is better here, like provides more value than Sandstream, because yeah, Sandstream does break the Saffron Smeargle, but Sandstream benefits Golem a lot, and I think Unnerve actually does give you a good option into Ho-Oh, since like Ho-Oh is basically always gonna run Citrus Berry.
Yeah, it's true. It runs Citrus Berry most of the time.
Yeah, I like that logic, but I don't know. I still think that despite it benefiting Watson's team more, I think the instantly breaking the sash on Smeargle is worth just about any
Yeah,
cost that
maybe.
you can pay for it. Because that means that you can remove Smeargle in one turn guaranteed. There's a lot of strong spread coming from Tyranitar and Earthquake and Rock Slide. And so you just need one stray hit, and that's your Smeargle problem solved for the rest of the match. I think it is worth it. It's an extremely high price to pay, but Smeargle is that annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it forces you into a situation where like either decision you make, it 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 doesn't look good for you because game one, if you have Sandstream, then maybe you beat Smeargle, but then Smeargle like doesn't have to come, and then you have to deal with these other Pokemon. Game two, like in game two, and then if it's the opposite, it's the same situation, right? If you bring Sandstream, or if you don't bring Sandstream, then maybe game one if Smeargle's not there, well, now you game two Smeargle comes out and it's a problem, right? So basically, no matter what you choose in game two, the adaptation should be like I should be able to make the adaptation to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think yeah.
Yeah. I think two Pokemon to lean into defensively at least are Togetic and Houndoom. Togetic being really good here since you don't have many spread options outside of like Rock Slide on Golem. Like most of the time you're doing like single target moves, like especially with like Ho-Oh and Donphan and Slowking and even Blossom. Like those are all single target attackers. And then Houndoom also I think provides some value against like your special attackers, like especially since you kind of know Ho-Oh is probably going special for Skarmory. You can go Snarl into
Yeah.
that, and then
That's
that like
true.
kind of hampers Ho-Oh, Blossom, and Slowking. But it doesn't. It's not perfect because you still have like Donphan and Golem to worry about. So
What I think you should do is if you're running Sandstream on your Tyranitar, game one, yeah, you can beat the Smeargle. But then you keep Smeargle in back, and then you lead your game two adjustment as Houndoom and Galarian Weezing,
Mm-hmm.
just to put that turn one pressure of I have a delete button that I can use at just any time,
Yeah,
yeah,
the explosion.
and force you to play defensive that first
yeah,
turn.
the
You can nasty
losing
plot on the
explosions
Houndoom and
genuinely
off to
good
the
option.
races. Like it's a lot of mental pressure to know, hey, if I make the wrong call on this turn one, I lose two Pokemon and pretty much instantly lose the game.
Yeah,
And we haven't seen that much in the way of people leaning into the mental pressure
mental
of
pressure is everything.
revealing a strategy. And if there's ever a fucking time to do it, it is with this team and this matchup.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
Golem's
see
the
it.
only one that won't work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
you get
mean,
like
Golem and just clicking protect in general.
Yeah,
true.
but that's what I'm saying is it forces you to play passively
For one turn,
And
yeah.
to
and
put
then
protects on your
and then you
Pokemon
can
that might
nasty
not
plot with the
otherwise.
Houndoom and put you in a really rough spot.
Yeah,
True.
that's true. That's true. The nasty plot is a big problem. Yeah.
Just like another thing to consider Weezing. Because like Weezing before this, like was a very passive Pokemon, like never really putting a lot of pressure on there. And now you kind of have to respect it a lot more than you did before.
Yeah, so and you can get a turn. Like there's some supportive things that you can do. Here's a fun fact. Watson, how much harder do you want this matchup to be?
You could say whatever you gotta say.
So,
I mean, Lily's in the room right now, so everything I'm saying is she's maybe benefiting from. It's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Well then,
we put these out, so
I
you
mean, this
know
is on
it's
YouTube.
always
Yeah.
it's always
well
public.
that's what I'm saying is like, this is something that I tell you after the fact in private, or do you want it to be known? Is that um, Galarian Weezing obviously gets Misty Terrain both as an ability, like Misty Surge, and
Uh
as a
huh.
move, and you Misty Terrain prevents status. So if you're saying I really, really fucking hate Smeargle,
Miracle. Yeah.
that is an
Yeah,
option you can do.
Yeah.
that's
No
true. Yeah,
sleep.
you miss the terrain, and honestly, how much like value are you getting out of neutralizing gas anyway? None of these Pokemon have abilities that are that strong that you really need to worry about it.
Yeah.
No, I
Galvanize
mean
is the
Moody's
big one.
annoying, Regenerator's annoying, but I don't think it activates like blocks it since it's activated on swap out. Um, so I think Misty Terrain is really good. So
Yeah, it
not only do
is.
you block out any statuses, but also you still have that psychic pressure of, hey, I could explode. I could still do it.
I can
Mhm.
still do it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's true. All
It's
right.
funny when you
Well.
say psychic pressure. I'm like, are you talking about like a mechanic?
No, I'm talking about the mental load. I am using the moonbeams to directly attack your brain.
hmm All right. Well, I think it should be interesting. I think those are all some good points, but I still think like you do have to do that creativity as the commanders, and because you have to,
Yeah,
it's gonna be tricky.
it's definitely your favorite, which is why Lily has to probably do some more creative stuff.
Yeah. Yep. 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 And yeah, I want that number one slot. I'm telling you, Lily's had it the whole season, but I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it.
You're
All right.
hungry.
I am. I am. All
Stay
right.
hungry.
Let's move on to our final matchup and wrap up things here. So this is the
Oh,
one I'm pretty excited for. I think both these teams have these are like Gen 1 veterans, and they've both come a long way in terms of like learning to play through now basically 2 seasons. So this will be like the culmination of their improvements. So I'm pretty excited to see it. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. Does anyone want to start with some initial impressions?
Um,
it's gonna be fun.
I am personally going to say that Politoed is a liability in this matchup just because of how strong Feraligatr is.
Mm-hmm.
Sheer Force Life Orb Liquidation is strong enough as it is. You do not need to give rain because there's like no resists on Singing in the Rain. Like there's nothing that can really swap in to that type of damage. So I would say either use a different ability on Politoed, which at that point, why are you bringing it? Or just bench him. I don't think you bring Politoed.
Mm-hmm.
Different ability on Politoed. No, 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 no. You gotta, what you have to do is just set Rain and then switch Politoed out because the Raikou with Thunder, like Terra Electric Raikou with Thunder is going to decimate this team, I think.
Yeah.
Like that's one shot Moltres, you one shot for Alligator, and then that's it. That's all you have to do. GG.
I think the thing is, for Alligator, we'll get a defensive Terra. And if we see a defensive Terra like Terra Ground, then I don't know. For Alligator's been a
Yeah, maybe
fucking
it's harder, but
menace.
then you have Scald. I mean, you've Scald on Raikou, and then that benefits from the rain as well.
That's
Yeah, but you can
true.
also like I think that Terra Ground is the like obvious choice and the small brain opinion. The big brains in the room use Terra Dragon
That's true.
And
because it resists water, it resists
electric.
electric, it resists um like a lot of key
Everything you
threats. So
need.
like so I
Yeah, and
say
there's not much you can do against a dragon type if you're Brian.
so Terra Dragon Dragon Dance for Alligator. I also am reminding you once again that Tidy Up Baton Pass is
For
really, really, really good.
it is, it is. I like yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't know. I think Moltres has the thing is about the Singing in the Rain team is like it does feel like Raikou kind of has to do everything, and like I just don't know
Yeah.
if it can. Like Scizor isn't doing a lot against a lot of these. It's okay. Like I don't know. Maybe if you set up with a Swords Dance on Scizor, it can actually go pretty hard. Because I will say the Bash, they're lacking a fire move. Like they really just can't hit Scizor for super effective
Yeah.
damage. And so like
Or, oh, go for it. Sorry.
yeah, so like I think if Scizor gets a little bit of time to set up, that could be pretty disgusting. I mean, like Moltres also has the ability to set up. Hitmontop has Intimidate, which I think is actually pretty crucial versus the Scizor this time. You could even, I think, justify running like a Clear Amulet on the Scizor to help deal with that Hitmontop. It'd be something to help you. And I'm gonna just say it because it's been the whole season long, and we haven't seen the Singing in the Rain team sing. I want to see him sing. I don't know if this is the matchup to do it. It's almost definitely not because you have Wobbuffet and Misdreavus into a Moltres who's gonna like just decimate you. So I take that back, but I'm sad that we didn't see Wobbuffet Misdreavus lead with just straight
mean-
disgusting Parish trap stuff.
Yeah, we haven't seen Wobbuffet like at all. I mean,
Just leave
Have-
Wobbuffet Misdreavus. It's so good. Not here. It's
What we
terrible
do
here.
is-
Don't do it here. But it is good in
No,
theory
you
against
do
a lot
do
of
it here.
teams.
If you do Focus Sash, Mirror Coat, you guaranteed kill the Galarian Moltres.
No, because it's a psychic type move. So Moltres is immune to
Oh
Mirror
shit,
Coat.
never mind.
oh,
Yeah, so you just get fucking dumpstered for free. it's, it's
For
not good.
free?
I
I
mean,
mean, shit, if it's free, I'll take it.
like, you lead Wobbuffet Misdreavus, Moltres is just gonna click Nasty Plot, then sweep your entire fucking team. Like, I don't know. I don't think it can work. But yeah, no. So yeah, that can't happen. So don't do that. But yeah, maybe Scizor can do some stuff. I think Nidoking.
I like Scizor into Umbreon and Espeon at the very least.
Yeah,
I think I also like Choice Band Scizor. You do priority spam.
yeah. Choice Band, Terra Steel, fucking just
Bullet
go
Punch.
bullet punch on them. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think for Alligator's your problem Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie because Moltres.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
Moltres
alligators,
is
really
not that-
hard to deal with.
Moltres is not that tanky with like into physical moves. I think if Furret protects the Moltres though, it could be dicey. Hitmontop also protects it with Fake Out and Intimidate.
you gotta
like,
do some stupid shit like Wobbuffet counter on for Alligator.
to deal with for Alligator. Yeah,
Yeah.
That could be something actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. And the rain, this is where like again, singing in the rain, having no water types and like setting the rain feels like every time you set the rain against any decent water type, you're just like shooting yourself in the foot. And for Alligators, one of the biggest examples of that. And you have to watch out even with the Raikou, like if you're throwing electric type attacks, Lantern will be like I think Lantern should be there.
Yeah.
And like has
Of
Volt
course it doesn't
Absorb.
get Lightning Rod, but yeah, Volt Absorb.
Volt
for the
Absorb, so
pivots.
you can like pivot around and like it will make you think twice about throwing a Thunder into that Moltres slot.
Yeah, and with some Volt Absorb setup, maybe Lantern actually becomes a threat.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think this is a really rough matchup for Singing in the Rain. They've got a big hill to climb.
hmm
Yeah, Raikou has to do a lot. And I don't know how you deal with for Alligator if it goes like Terra
I
Dragon.
think you need to bring, Nidoking as a decent attacker, but you don't have enough support. You don't have good ways. Like you could do Tailwind,
Special
Scizor, I
Nidoking
guess.
yeah.
You put
Especially
Ice
Nido
Beam
King
on every-
Ice Beam is like pretty good. I was like, is Raikou learn Ice Beam? Because if it does, maybe that could help you too.
Yeah, I think it does. I don't know if it does.
Yeah.
But Politoed does and Nidoking does.
Yeah, so maybe the Ice Beam from Politoed could help a little. I guess. I don't know. Like, okay, here's the thing you can do. Here's the thing you can do we haven't really thought
It does
about.
not get Ice Beam.
You could run Misdreavus
It
with
gets entire
Will-O-Wisp.
ice.
You could run Misdreavus with Will-O-Wisp.
Ooh,
Will-O-Wisp would be
there
pretty
you go.
disgusting for you into the Feraligatr and even the Hitmontop. I like that. I like that as an
Yeah,
answer. Misdreavus
I like that a
Will-O-Wisp
lot.
is probably one of your better answers versus some of the bullshit you're gonna
That
be
feels like a
dealing with.
must do.
Like you could Misdreavus actually, if you run some normal shit on Misdreavus, okay? Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Shadow Ball, or maybe not even Shadow Ball because it is kind of bad this week. Shadow Ball. You know what? Fuck it. Run Shadow Ball. You can hit Espeon with it, and then like protect. I don't know. Maybe Ally Switch if you want to get cheeky. No trick.
I
Prison.
like
Sunny
Ally
Day.
Actually,
I like Ally
Foul
Switch
Play.
for the Wobbuffet counter.
No, don't run Shadow Ball. Run Foul Play because a
Do you
Feraligatr.
have foul play?
Oh yeah, Mischievous gets Foul Play.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
Run
So
some foul
Feraligatr is
play.
gonna probably like do some D-dance shenanigans. Foul Play is gonna punish that
Yeah,
pretty heavily.
I really
probably
like taunt
destroys
too. Taunt
Feraligatr.
is good. Like taunt is
Yeah,
good. Into you taunt the Furret, you taunt the Feraligatr if he's trying to Dragon Dance or whatever. You taunt the Moltres so he can't fucking use Nasty Plot. I don't know. Mischievous could be pretty good here. Like, okay, yeah,
you also got Nightshade. I think it'd be really funny to use Memento. It's bad, but it would be really funny.
that's bad. Please don't use Memento.
Please use Memento. It is
you're,
bad. I'm telling you it's bad, but it would be really funny.
you're taking this super tanky, hard to remove Pokemon and just being like, I'm gonna delete myself for free.
True. But you lower the attack by 2. It's perfect.
It's so you could just Will-O-Wisp for the same
Yeah.
effect.
You
Yeah,
get
but
Will-O-Wisp.
what
You
if
also get
Will-O-Wisp
Thunder Wave.
misses,
Will-O-Wisp
Watson?
can miss. Thunderwave's
What
good
if it
too.
misses?
Thunderwave's good too. I like Thunderwave. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
Thunder Wave would be good.
yeah.
Honestly, just you. I'm gonna say it. You could use Trick.
You can
If you
use
trick the because
Please
you
don't
can-
use
It's
Hold on.
Will-O-Wisp, taunt, foul play, and then something else. It doesn't even fucking.
Trick allows you to remove the life orb off of Feraligatr, allows you to remove the citrus berry off of Moltres. Trick's not
Okay.
the worst thing in the world.
I would much rather just Will-O-Wisp the Feraligatr than trick a life orb off of it though.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a way better idea, but if you want to use Trick, there are worse weeks to use it.
There okay. Yeah, trick a lagging
Like
tail onto Hitmon onto Moltres or something. I don't know. You do have to be careful with Misdreavus versus Espeon though, because it has Magic Bounce, so all that shit will just fucking go right back at you. So I like Ally Switch, but yeah, that's the matchups. Any final thoughts before we close out?
I feel like I'm wondering if maybe you bring Quillfish. Maybe
Eh,
just because no ground type moves
I mean, Intimidate
except
would be
Blanca.
good. I don't know if I'm sold on Quillfish. I mean, Intimidate's good. I like
There have been better matchups for Quillfish than this one, I will say.
and it still didn't come.
But yeah, and it still hasn't come. But maybe.
I really think it's just Intimidate is the only like it is good to intimidate Feraligatr and Hitmontop, but I don't know if it's worth it. I think you have more important things to do. I don't think it can like justify taking a slot over your.
Quillfish has Intimidate?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Oh, it does, yeah.
Peachy gets Nuzzle.
And Swift Swim.
yeah. The Swift Swim is what you would usually use, but I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, just that it doesn't really provide much value. I was just kind of initially thinking, oh, maybe it's good because it has no weakness on
I
this
mean,
team.
I could see a world where like maybe your core is Raikou, Mischievous, Scizor, Quillfish. Like that's not unreasonable because like then you could intimidate. Mischievous can do the status moves you need, and like honestly, you're just hoping Scizor and Raikou can do enough damage between the two of them. I don't think that's unreasonable. I mean, Quillfish's damage is okay; it's not terrible, but it's mostly there for intimidate. I
It
wouldn't
has
hate
Sword
that.
Stance,
Yeah,
so without being able to be threatened by like a super effective attack, maybe it has the ability to set up, especially since it gets Intimidate.
yeah. I don't mind that core. I don't mind that core at all. Because Nidoking and Politoed feel not amazing.
Oh, but it's a attack stats. Oh yeah, it's a physical attacker. So yeah, Swords Dance.
But I think it's time we close this one out. Thank you for joining. I'm really excited for Week 7 matchups and getting into the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of shifts happening. I've been having a lot of fun with the Gen 2 League and already getting hyped for Gen 3. I hope that everyone will stick around and stay around for another season. Also, I'll be having a hella captain interviews coming out this week. I've got scheduled pretty much every captain at some point over the next week, so I'll be doing interviews like it's my job. So look forward to seeing those. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you again, Carter and Robin, for joining me. Happy to see you as always. Yeah. Alrighty, and with that we're done. So peace out.